Hello and welcome to another video for Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's now quite old and has become quite collectible and is fairly rare, especially here in the UK. Quite simply because this particular item we're looking at today was never released over in the UK. We had to import these figures in because they weren't, for some reason, Playmates decided not to include them in the cases of figures that were sent over to the UK. Okay, we are looking at the 1995 release by Playmates from their Star Trek Voyager Series 1 series of action figures. And this particular action figure we're looking at today is of Ensign Harry Kim, who was the ops officer aboard the USS Voyager. Now, Star Trek Voyager was the 5th series in the Star Trek franchise. And it ran for 7 seasons from 1995 through to 2001, and there was 172 episodes produced, and probably one of the most popular Star Trek series that span the later 90s. Okay, so this is the figure in front of us. And the very top is got the warning, the choking hazards, ages 4 and up. It says exclusive inaugural edition Playmates Skybox Collector Card. And it says Star Trek Voyager, Ensign Harry Kim, Ops Officer, USS Voyager. And Delta Quadrant Accessories include Starfleet Tricorder Field Kit, Polaric Generator and Anti-Polaric Armband. And bonus Starfleet Action Display Base. Very bottom left hand corner has got the Playmates logo, and the bottom right hand corner gives you the assortment number, which was 6480, and a stock number, which was 6484. And there you can see Harry Kim just behind the bubble. Okay, before we have a good look at the figure itself, let's turn the card around and let's have a read of what's printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around. This is what we've got on the back. So it says ages 4 and up, and you've got an image of one of the trading cards, which has Catherine Janeway on it. It says exclusive inaugural edition Playmates Skybox Collector Card, and it says Star Trek Voyager, and you've got Voyager flying through space. It says, in an effort to rescue a band of marquee rebels, the Starfleet ship USS Voyager finds itself swept up in a strange and terrifying phenomenon, which throws the ship into the far reaches of the galaxy, some 70,000 light years away. With no easy way home, some of the Starfleet's finest officers and a handful of dedicated marquee rebels join forces aboard one of the most highly advanced starships ever built, the USS Voyager, to find a way back home. Join the Voyager crews for exciting new adventures as they boldly go to explore, study and investigate the unexplored region of space. It says collect all these Star Trek Voyager action figures. So you've got Captain Catherine Janeway, Commander Chakotay, Lieutenant Tom Paris, Ensign Harry Kim, who wasn't released in the UK, but that's what this figure is. Lieutenant B'Elanna Torres, the Doctor Emergency Medical Hologram, Lieutenant Tuvok, Kess of the Acampa, again it wasn't released in the UK, and Neelix the Talaxium. Okay, Delta Quadrant Accessories, Starfleet that says Starfleet. I can't read what that says. Let's just bring that in closer and zoom in on it because it's Starfleet Tricorder, but that's an image of the. Yeah, so there's an printing error on this. It's a Starfleet Tricorder, pull-up by sensor, computer and data recorder, and it's showing under the image of the phaser. Anti-plasmic armband repels subspace fractures within 3 meters. Starfleet Tricorder, portable sensor complex and data recorder. Polaric Generator, capable of opening Weidenberg subspace fractures with modifications, and a field kit, equipment repair and upgrade tools. Okay, let's zoom back out on that now. Sometimes they do make errors on these cards, and they do make them sometimes very difficult to read because of the way the colours are and the type of writing that they've used over the top of the colours. Okay, it says important note to collectors. Playmates Toys Inc. is proud to pronounce the ultimate in finely detailed, authentic action figures for Star Trek series. We invest the necessary time to create a true likeness of each character. Utilising a special moulding process, this allows us to offer final products which maintain the integrity of our original handcrafted models. And of course, all of our action figures are individual number for authenticity and collectability. Playmates appreciates the collector's demand for quality and detail, and we will continue to create products that meets or exceeds these high expectations or standards. Paramount Pictures copyright information conforms to the safety standards. You got the proof of purchase for Star Trek fans, and you got 1-star point. And again, if you collected the points, you could send away for a free figure. Proof of purchase at the bottom there, Playmates logo and the Starfleet logo at the bottom there, and you got the barcode, assortment number 6480, stock number 6484. And the clip and collect is library computer and retrieval system, USS Voyager NCC 74656, senior officer biographical profile, subject Harry Kim, species human, rank Ensign. Profile, let's just bring that forward a bit so we can read it better. A recent graduate of Starfleet Academy, the USS Voyager is Harry Kim's first assignment. He joined the ship while it was docked at Deep Space Nine, a Bajoran space station under Starfleet administration. There he met Tom Paris, who rescued him from a fierce but a certain Ferengi bar owner. Kim and Paris have been good friends ever since, although their taste and personalities are quite opposite. Kim is the only son of doting parents and openly returned their affection. Before his assignment in the USS Voyager, Kim called them once a week, even when he was in training missions. As ops officer, he is responsible for scientific analysis and ship's communication. Further data access denied. Contact Starfleet security. There we go. So that is the back of the card. Nice thing to keep it in context. Those cutout cards were quite nice to click and collect, and to keep them with your figures or keep them in a file with all the information on. Okay, that is the back of the card. Let's turn the figure around now and have a look at the figure in all its glory. Okay, so I've zoomed right in on the figure itself, and there you can see the facial features are a pretty good likeness to Garrett Wang, who played Ensign Harry Kim in the Star Trek Voyager series. Yeah, pretty good likeness overall, really. They got the hair right, the eyebrows are correct, the eyes are right. The nose is perhaps the only thing that's a little bit off. The lips seem to be right, and the face, the shape of the face seemed to be right. But overall, it's a very, very good likeness of Harry Kim. And considering this was from almost 30 years ago, and the moulding techniques were very different then to how they are now, or the sculpting techniques, I should say. It's a very, very good likeness. I think they've done very, very well with this one. And of course, Harry, as you can see, comes in his usual Starfleet uniform with the gold coloured top of his jumpsuit, and the rest of the jumpsuit is all in black, all down to his black boots. Okay, which is all pretty standard Starfleet issue. And then of course is his Voyager com badge, which is done very well on these figures. Rather than just be painted on, it is embossed on, so it does look much better than just a painted version, which you got on some of the early figures. Okay, that is Harry Kim. Now, as you can see, obviously Harry Kim is still attached to the card, so I am unable to remove the figure from the card because it's all still sealed. However, as usual, I do have my trusted Captain Ben Sisko action figure, and if you see, they're exactly the same size, height, and bulkiness, and the articulation on these figures are exactly the same. So let's just move Harry back a little bit, and then we'll have a look at let's just dim the lights there, because no, I'm going to put them back on because it was a bit too dark. Okay, so height wise, we are looking at overall height of 12 centimeters, if you can see that without too much reflection. And if we measure across the back for that at the hands, we're looking about just under 5 centimeters, and it'll be the same for all of the figures depending on where you hold the hands. And the depth of the figure is about 2 centimeters. Articulation wise, well, you got the tops of the arms which go up and down. Obviously the head turns from side to side. The tops of the arms rotate, as you can see there, and the elbows go up and down, so you can pretty much put the arms and the hands in any position because the whole of the section rotates. And if you can see on Harry Kim, he's got the same articulation features there. You've also got the waist, and there is one difference here though, which I'll point out in a second, is the obviously the knee joints go, but on this particular one there's no top of the leg movements like there is on the arm. It's not on the leg, but if you can see Harry Kim, it is, the articulation is there on this figure. So this figure does have the extra articulation for the legs, so you can turn the feet in and out because the legs spin. So that is the Harry Kim figure. Personally, I think this was the whole of the Star Trek Voyager range of figures, I think, were very, very good. Harry Kim was one of those figures which wasn't produced and it wasn't sold in the UK, unfortunately. We had to, I remember when we had the shop, we had to get in touch with our contacts in the US and have them go out and find these figures and ship them over to us, because and all of the stock that was coming through Bandai, who was the UK importers for Playmates, no Kim or Kess figures were included. So it was a tough job for us to go off and find them, because our customers wanted the complete set of figures, and obviously that included Kess and Kim. So what we had to do then was fly them over. We used to fly them over by Airborne Express or something like that. Okay, so how well did these figures do back in the day? Well, Star Trek Voyager was a massively popular program. Well, in fact, the whole of the Star Trek franchise was huge back in the 90s. It was probably the most popular franchise on the planet at the time. You had Star Trek The Next Generation, which had just come to an end. You had Star Trek Voyager, you had Star Trek Deep Space Nine, you had Star Trek the original television series that was still running, you had the movies that were being the original series being rerun, you had the movies that were being shown on the satellite channels, and you had the Next Generation, which had just gone to the movies. And of course, then after that, Star Trek Enterprise came. So it was a very, very popular franchise, and Voyager just happened to be one of the most popular shows. And the merchandise, really the merchandise for Voyager was not as much as what was produced for Star Trek The Next Generation. There was a lot less merchandise produced. There was only 2 series of figures produced for Voyager, whereas Next Generation, they produced them for every season. Also, the ships, there wasn't so many ships that was produced either from the Star Trek Voyager series, so there was a lot less merchandise produced for Voyager, which was a shame, because there were so many people that were very, very into Star Trek Voyager, and we were all crying out for more and more merchandise back in the day. So yes, it all sold well. Now, these particular figures, the ones that weren't released into the UK, like Harry Kim and Kess, we pretty much had to import these in. Well, we imported them in from the States, and they were pretty much all sold before they actually arrived, because of all of our regular customers that wanted the figures. This is when we had the shop, incidentally. They wanted the figures, so they were pretty much, or by the time the figures arrived with us, they were all sold. We did import a second series. By the time they arrived again, 99% of them were sold. And as soon as the few figures that were left went back on the shelf, they sold out the same day. So, and that was it as far as the Kess and Kim figures were concerned. We didn't have any more pre-orders, so we didn't import a third batch of these figures, just the first two. So now let's fast forward nearly 30 years. And how often do these figures appear on the platforms? Well, Star Trek Voyager figures do still come up on the platforms from time to time, not as often as they used to. Now, these particular figures, the Kess and the Kim, those two figures do appear on the platforms, but they're usually from the US. You very rarely see them appear in the UK. If you can find them on the platforms, but bear in mind that it is shipping from the US. You have got a much higher shipping cost, and you will have import duty to pay when it arrives as well. So the cost of them is going to be quite high. You can buy loose figures. A lot of people have loose figures that are up for sale on the platforms, and obviously they come without most of the accessories and without the trading cards. And if that's what you're looking for, then that's fine, because you can pick them up fairly easily and fairly cheaply on the platforms. It's just in this very new, unopened, sealed condition, they are not so readily available. However, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few of these figures, both Kess and Kim, and they are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new items that go onto the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you are looking for, something old that you never know how to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.